In this video, we'll show you how to buy an Airalo eSIM for your iPhone on the web in 2026. For a much shorter version of this video, see a link in the description below. eSIM Planet is supported by affiliate marketing. So if you could click the Airalo link in the description, that would be great. We do get a small percentage of each sale. So here we are at the Airalo website, and let's start out by typing in where we want to go. But let's backtrack a little bit and go over just a couple of concepts here. So if you're going to a single country, you're going to choose an eSIM for that country. If I'm going to say France, I'm going to choose a French eSIM. Now, most people, when they go to the EU, they go to a few different countries. So it might make more sense to get a European Union and United Kingdom SIM. When do I buy my eSIM? I'm going away in 2 weeks. Do I buy it in 2 weeks? Do I buy it when I get there? And also, when is it activate? If I have 7 days and I buy it now, is it going to be spent by the time I get 2 weeks' time? First thing is, you have 365 days. You have a year in which to use it, and then it will expire. So you can buy it anytime, but make sure it's within 365 days of you going on your trip. And once you go on your trip, that's when the clock starts ticking. The second thing is, so buy it. I would buy it a week or 2 weeks before you go away. The second thing is, when is it active? When does the clock, what I mean by that is, when does the clock starts ticking? I have 7 days. When is that first day? Well, if you activate it, and that's in inverted commas because it's not really active, it basically is activated as soon as you land in that foreign country. You land at Heathrow, you land at Brandenburg Airport in Berlin. As soon as your phone, as soon as the eSIM hits a tower that Airalo is using, that is boom. That's your kind of ground zero time when it starts to be active. I'm going to choose a SIM from the US simply because I need to demonstrate this and activate it in the US. I can't fly somewhere, unfortunately. So I'm going to type in USA, 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 and I'm going to choose this. This is kind of interesting, and this is kind of unique to the US. They do actually offer a phone number. 99% of eSIMs is just data only, but they actually offer a phone number. And I just want to say this because I'm covering everything in this video. This is a long version. The short version is in the description. But this is all the options. This is the kind of thing where other people don't really talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it. So they do offer you a phone number. Why would you need a phone number for your eSIM? Well, I know here in my neck of the woods, there's a restaurant, and they use this digital QR code ordering system, and you need to have a telephone number to do that. So say you come from Germany and you're like, oh, I want some schnitzel and some a Jägermeister. You would need to use an SMS. You'd have to have a telephone number. So here's our United States eSIM. Now, this is another thing that people are not going to tell you about, but if you go to Reddit, you can read about this stuff all day long. What network are you going to be on? Now, I know for a fact I use T-Mobile. T-Mobile is a very good network in the US. But if you go to some remote places, the Germans are going to do all the national parks. If you go there, you may want to have something with Verizon. So it may be a good idea to get maybe the Frau, maybe your Frau, you get something other than T-Mobile. So you might have to get another eSIM. I know most of the eSIMs use T-Mobile. I think some of them can use Verizon. So that might be something else to actually think about. So just a quick note here. Later on in the video, I did indeed get Verizon. And if you look here, it says T-Mobile plus one other. So it does seem you can get Verizon with this plan. I have no idea why I got Verizon instead of T-Mobile. Where I live, I think they're both about the same signal strength. So your mileage may vary, but my advice is still, if you can go with just a straight Verizon only eSIM, I would do that for one of your party. So here we're going to go down here. I'm going to scroll down and you'll see the various packages. I'm cheap, so I'm going to get the cheapest package here. So I'm going to click on here, and then it says package details. You have 365 days to purchase to start using the. So you have 365 days, not 30 days. Okay, so you have a year, so that's better. It used to be 30 days. So you can buy it a year in advance. That's good. Top up. You can top it up. You can renew it. Now, renewals is kind of important. If you're going away for 7 days, or maybe you're going away for 11 days and you can only get a 10-day or 14-day. You're like, no, I'm going to get a 10-day and renew it. Well, maybe that 10th day you're at the airport, and guess what? Right when you're about to get your boarding pass and your tickets and send emails and Ubers and, you know, Airbnb stuff, boom, there goes your eSIM. So just make sure you have the right length of time. Rather go too long than too short. So come up with this little buy now button. I'm going to click that. So now it's asking us to log in and create an account. Most of these eSIMs do that. I'm going to use sign in with Apple. And then it's going to ask for payment. I'm going to use Apple Pay. Use whatever you want. I use Apple Pay because it's just normally one click. So I'm going to click the button Pay. Using my Touch ID. There you have it. There's my email address, and it sent a confirmation. So now it says install or share. So I'm going to install it. And here's your options to install it. So you have three options. You can do a manual install. You can actually scan your phone's camera with your phone's camera, which I don't know how you would do that. If you bought this on your laptop, you could then use your phone, bring your phone up to this QR code and scan it. But the beauty of iOS 17.4 or later, we're on iOS 26 right now in 2026, you can just click this button and we're going to do a direct install. So I'm going to click this button over here. And it's going to take me across to the cellular settings on my iPhone. So I'm jumped from the website Safari to the cellular settings on my phone. And this is where it gets a little confusing. We are going to activate it, but it's only going to activate when we land. Just remember that. This is super simple. We're just going to click this here. And it's doing this thing as it does all the time. Every single eSIM, it'll go through here. It's ready to activate. I'm going to click continue down the bottom here. Here we go. Activate eSIM. Your new eSIM from Airalo is ready to activate. Down here. This is where I throw in the obligatory SpongeBob. 20 minutes later.
20 minutes later.
It shouldn't take too long. And then it always comes to this. Every single eSIM it does this now in iOS 26. And we're just going to do abroad. I mean, in theory, I am doing it at home, but I'm going to do abroad. Because you'd be doing this before you get to your home country. Before you get to your country that's other than your home country. Hit continue. And it's data only. Sometimes if you get a voice and data one, you might want to do that, but 99.9% you want to do data only. So I'm just going to click on there, continue. Travel eSIM setup complete. It's ready to use. Now, this is also a little bit confusing if you have an old eSIM or maybe you have a couple of eSIMs on your phone. Most people only have one eSIM, and I don't even have eSIM. I have a SIM card, so we'll see what happens next. Okay. All right. Now, this is a little bit of stuff to unpack here. First of all, up here, it says SIMs. In your case, 99% of people have a modern phone. I have an older phone here. It says SIMs because one of my cards, this one here, is actually a physical SIM card, not an eSIM. I have a Saley there. Uh-oh, watch out for the competition. I have an old Saley one here that is turned off, and it is no longer needed. And here's the new one that I just got. And I say this all the time, all my videos. Who is travel webbing? Travel webbing. Where's Airalo? Where did Airalo go? This is definitely the one that I just added because I had these two before. Who's travel webbing? Well, travel webbing is a multinational, large wholesale company that sells eSIMs, and they are the mothership that Airalo and a lot of these guys buy their eSIMs from. So it's very confusing. So every time you install an eSIM, I say the first thing we do is we go and rename this. But in my case, the first thing I want to do, I want to delete this Saley one. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to delete the eSIM. Now it's very important. If ever you delete eSIM, you cannot bring it back. So in my case, I know I've used it. The data's been used. It's very, very important you understand this. So now we're going to go back to our home screen after we click on this guy, and everything is going to be clear and clean. Okay, so it's removing the Saley. Like I say, this will be eSIMs here. Update contacts. Don't worry about that. I just say update contacts because, okay. So now the first thing I say you do, you're going to leave it in this configuration with your, this is my regular phone number for this phone, my test phone, and my carrier is US Mobile. And we're going to keep this line on until we're right at the airport of the day of travel, right at the airport about to get on the plane. And this here, this no number webbing, we're going to change the name of this because it's very confusing. So here we go. So just click on this thing where it says off over here, and then go to the top, and where it says cellular plan label, click on here, go down to the bottom, and let's make this Airalo A-I-R. I'm going to do a capital A because I feel pretty crazy here. So it's going to go back, and then we're going to go to the top over here, click back, and there you'll see. Now we have our two lines, and that's all you're going to do until the day of travel. On the day of travel, this is what you're going to do. You're going to turn this guy, your regular number, not when you get to the airport because you still want to make phone calls and say goodbye to everybody. You're going to turn this guy off when you're sitting on the plane. You know, you're sitting there waiting for the plane to take off. Assume you still have a cell phone signal. You're going to turn this guy, you're going to turn this on to an off, and then this guy you're going to turn on. That's all you got to do. So let's try this now. Okay, I've said goodbye to everybody. I've boarded. I'm sitting there. Hopefully I'm got a comfortable seat. I'm not sitting next to someone who's encroaching my personal space. So I'm going to turn this guy off. So here we go. And you go down here and you go turn off. Right over here. That's all you got to do. Turn this guy off. Simple. Now I'm going back. Brrr. I turn this guy off. And I'm going to turn this guy on. Now in my case, and a very important tip here, once we've turned this on, just go down and turn that low data mode on. Trust me, you will thank me for doing this. Low data mode helps reduce cellular data usage. So what happens sometimes is you're going to do an iCloud backup and it starts to do it when you're on your 1 gigabyte data plan and uses it up in no time. So you want to turn this all off. You want to make sure this low data mode is turned on. Let's go back. You're set. Enjoy your terrible food. Enjoy the person next to you who's sleeping on your arm. When you land, cue the picture of the Brandenburg airport. When you land, this guy over here, the Airalo eSIM, is going to connect to a cell phone tower, and you'll have data. You'll have data. Now, my screen recording software doesn't really show this, but I will show you. I'm going to disconnect it. I'm going to show you that I'm actually connected to the internet. It's a good idea to, once you land, pull your phone out. If it's in airplane mode, turn it off airplane mode, and then you will see at the top left, you'll see a little icon saying you're connected to cellular. Go to a website of your choice and see if you can indeed load a web page. And I'm going to show you that now, but I need to disconnect it from this recording method and put on another recording method. Okay, so we're back in business. You'll see I'm actually got a bit of a different microphone here, but I have indeed, look at the top. See here, ignore the red. See here, it says Verizon. You're like, well, wait a minute, how do you know you're actually on the Airalo network? And it also, it did say, didn't it say it was going to be T-Mobile? So that's interesting. So see over here, it says it's Verizon. So When you land, you'll see something like Deutsche Telekom or Orange or whatever. You'll see a cell phone carrier that you have never seen before. Then you know, that's great. I'm connected to a network. You'll see your bars here. I have this Wi-Fi thing because I'm still using Wi-Fi calling, but you'll see 5G, 4G, LTE, and then proof is in the pudding. I'm going to type in BBC. Let's see if I can pull it up, and boom, there it goes. Unfortunately, the first time you do this, there's kind of some gotchas, and it seems surprisingly complicated. You know, I wish I could just say, hey, I'm going to click a button, boom, I have 10 gigs of data for as long as I'm over there, or I have data for as long as I'm over there, don't have to think about it. Well, you can do that. You can go with your carrier. You can go with Verizon, and they have a day pass. And maybe if you're going for 5 days, it's worth the $5.12 to $60 you pay. But if you're going for 7 days, and if you have a family of 4, or if you're going for a month and you have a family of 4, that is, 30 times 12, which is what? 360 times 4, that's $1,500. You don't want to do that. That's why you want to have an eSIM. So have a fantastic trip. And if you got any value out of this video, don't forget to hit the like button. So if you'd like to buy an Airalo eSIM, visit the link in the description below, and don't forget to visit our website eSIMplanet.com.